Good morning. It's 3:40 a.m. where I am, so that's morning. Today I want to talk about a book I had read and just to discuss it, like a book review, sort of. So the book's name is Darker Paradox, right? And it's a dark romance. The thing with this book is that it's not your typical dark romance. It does not involve the mafia. Instead, it involves another planet. They're on another planet. And the cycle of the couple is the emperor of the planet. And his love interest is his secretary, who's a guy. So, this guy, what does he do? So the thing with this book, it starts with a very interesting statement. It starts with a statement like Silver was a psycho. And me, I have this thing where I'm not gonna go by your reviews. I'm not gonna go by what you say. I'm going to go by how quickly that book can draw me in. And these days, all the dark mafia romances start with a wedding. The chick is forced. If it's an MF romance, she's being forced to marry the guy. And the first scene is always her preparing for the wedding. And it gets so boring because I can tell you exactly what's gonna happen. She's mad that she's marrying him. It's been forced. It's not just arranged, it's forced. She feels like she has no agency, she's helpless. She hates the guy but can't help being attracted to him. Yeah, I mean, like, the looks vary, the dress varies, but those details always remain the same. So it gets like tedious. It gets tedious, especially for someone like me who just like I don't even believe in marriage in the first place, and then you're bringing for me an arranged marriage, and then I'm supposed to what? I'm supposed to what? I'm supposed to be rooting for these people? No, I read dark romance for the psychos. I'm here for psychos. Give me some psychos. And a funny thing is that in MF, the guy might be a psycho, might be, but usually, even if he's a psycho, he's like, oh, I don't want to be this. I don't want to be this. I'm just like here because of my upbringing or my dad or whatever. But at least when it's romance, male, the guy is allowed to be a psycho, and his partner is not some helpless damsel in distress waiting to be rescued by the psycho. No. He also tends to either also be a psycho or be at least an equal partner, equally yoked. Equally yoked. So for this guy, like, he was kind of oblivious to the fact that the other guy is manipulating him. He was like generally oblivious. It wasn't specific to this guy. He's just like generally an oblivious person. So he's not he thought like the guy just wants to keep him close because he's a good secretary. Like, he was absolutely convinced that the guy wants to sleep with him, gave him a swift bond against his will, like he was compromised. His like faculties were compromised, and the guy bonded to him like for life. And he thought this guy did all these things because he wants to keep a secretary. Okay, first of all, the emperor, is a psycho. So the guy had a basis for thinking that, because a psycho is not gonna he's not gonna care. Like, I want this thing, and I'll do whatever I need to get it, right? So, like, the thing with that book is, like, because of the things that the psycho did, he did like a lot of shit. He did a lot of rancid shit. When the guy found out, when his love interest found out, he immediately like cut the guy off, like cut him off. Like I've never seen a romance book where the guy is allowed to be cut off that thoroughly, you know. Usually it's like, oh, she breaks up with him, but she's crying. She's crying in her bed. She didn't go to work. How are people not going to work in this economy because they broke up with someone? Like, can we be for real? So anyway, he was going to work. The emperor disappeared. He disappeared from his home. He disappeared from work. He was just nowhere to be found. And then since now he's clocked the guy, the secretary was like, he's just doing it for attention so that I can take him back. So once again he was wrong, because the guy was doing it because he was waiting for this guy to leave the planet and go visit his siblings, because the emperor had literally put him on the no-fly zone so that he can't leave. That's like one of the main rancid things he did. So the thing is that because of the bond that they had, if the emperor was not with him, he would die. And the one thing that he didn't do is tell this guy that, you breaking up with me means I'm gonna die. That was his redeeming quality. And it just made me think, like, yeah, there are some things which a guy does. I've never seen a girl do it, but a guy does, which the only way that they can redeem themselves is to die. So like when you're writing a book, like I remember I was writing this fan fiction for season 9 of Supernatural, when Dean had allowed Gadriel to possess Sam without his knowledge. And even in the program itself, like in the series, Dean had to die in order to compensate for that rancidity. There's some betrayals which are just so beyond that the only way you can come back from it is to die. And then when you're dead, like, okay, now you can be forgiven. And then now after that, now you sort yourselves out. Are you gonna reincarnate? Are you gonna be a ghost? Are you gonna be brought back by the devil? Whatever the means that you come back, then you can be forgiven. So this guy was gonna die, and he didn't tell anyone. However, the secretary's brother knew about those kind of like bonds. He knew, because it was a well kept secret among the people, among that species. But his brother knew, the secretary's brother knew, that once you're bonded with this kind of person, the only way that they can leave you is if they die. So he knew that the guy was going to die. So that's when the secretary went back to him and said, okay, do you have something you need to tell me? He's like, no. And he was literally going to just go through with it. And because the secretary realized this is one more manipulation, he was able to forgive. So that book really stuck with me because, like, usually in most romances, not just dark romances, the guy does some shit, but he never really pays for it. He just gets forgiven and people just move on with their lives. And I really love that this guy had to pay for it. Like, he really had to pay for it. Like, he was a psycho who had to learn what regret feels like, what remorse feels like, and he did it. And that was like the most immensely satisfying ending to me. Like it doesn't get better than that. So it made me think about, like, in my own writing, how do I deal with like rancid betrayal, right? And in my fan fiction, because I write about, like, all my ships are supernatural except this new one that I'm writing. So it's easy to, like, you die and then you find a way to come back. But, like, how do you deal with, like, when you're a writer and you have one person and you need to redeem them? Because redemption arcs, even in movies, you find, like, the redemption arc is like some is basically the woman forgives him. That's the redemption arc, usually. And just, oh, I love you, I'm sorry, I love you. And sometimes even there's no I'm sorry. It's just like, oh, now that I'm in love with you, now look at, for example, Damon Salvatore. Like, what was his redemption arc? What did he do? Nothing. But because now he's a love interest, we all have to forgive him. And this is why, like, for example, uh, the Vampire Chronicles, people are very confused. They're very confused because they're trying to give Louis, Lestat, Claudia, all of them, Armand, trying to give them redemption arcs. And the whole point of all of them is that they are all rancid, and they are all without that. They're not even looking for redemption. They've accepted themselves in their rancidity. And so because of all these other instances where if you're the love interest, then you have to be good. Now people are so upset. Oh God, I'm so upset. I'm so upset. How could Lestat have deliberately let Claudia die? Dude, you were there. You were there. You saw it. You saw the trial. It's actually one part of the trial in the book which were the same. Okay, the book was not the same. In the book, he was really injured in. They did make him, but he is the one who went and told Armand, even in the book, that these people tried to kill him, knowing he knew what the laws were. He knew. So he was complicit in both the book and the series. So when people are, like, literally wailing and crying on Twitter, oh my God, no, 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 how could he become? These are vampires. My dude, these are vampires. So when I say, like this psycho, first of all, he's allowed to do this thing because he's a psycho, right? We understand that. But the secretary, as the non-psycho, okay, you do not have to take that shit. That's my point, right? People should not be made to take shit because, oh, this guy's a psycho, so he's like that. Yeah, okay, but refuse to be treated that way. Refuse. Let him learn how to treat you. It's always a guy. Let's not even, like, try to whatever. I don't know, the thing that people do where you say, if you say these people are like this, then these people have to be like this. No, it's always a guy. And yes, I know this is fiction, but even in reality, it's always a guy. So I was just, like, trying to equate that, like, because I'm in the middle of writing a dark romance right now, and the chick is actually maybe the villain, not the guy. So I'm trying to see how to make it so that the the crime is big enough and the redemption is big enough that the story is satisfying. But I wanted to share with you the book, that book, the Darker Paradox, his Darker Paradox, because it really like stood out to me. I've read so many dark romances between last year and this year, and that one really stood out to me. So I really hope that I haven't just been rambling and you get something out of this. Thank you for staying the whole way.